The Cinderella story ends here. That is not a quote from me. Okay, so those y'all that pegged me a Deion hater, that's not a quote from me. Okay, that's a quote from Oregon's head coach. Okay, with the cameras rolling, that boy said that, and I guess he meant what he said.
He meant what he said.
Because Colorado got blasted today by Oregon by a score of 42-6. Okay. Shocked me. Shocked a lot of folks.
Yeah.
In terms of not the loss, okay, I think Vegas had them, 21-point dogs. But in terms of Colorado not being able to put up any points, for real, until the fourth, I think that's what shocked a lot of people. So we're going to talk about it. Before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Excuse me. I'm your homeboy first. That is my brother, the honorable one, Tim G. Jacobs. And this is the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something. Again, hit that subscribe button. Share. Put all your people on it. Okay. But T, what the hell happened? Okay. Because I was off covering Jackson State University. So I was only able to keep up with shit on my phone. What the hell went on, dog?
Just wrong place, wrong time. Trenches was a big thing. I think this game here truly showed that Colorado doesn't have the kind of front in terms of offensive line play that can keep Shedeur clean. They were getting him off his spot a good bit. They had him backpedaling a lot. He was never comfortable in this game. I think they totaled like 7 sacks in this game. They were getting back there, man. They were getting pressure.
Okay.
And so you start getting the pressure on him. They were really just out of sync. Colorado was not ready to come play this game. They weren't ready to match the physicality of Oregon. Oregon ran the ball very well today. I think they ran for about 240 yards. They ran it well. They threw it well. Bo Nix had time. He was throwing it all over the place. At one point, I think Bo Nix was like 16 to 17. Just tossing around the yard. It just happened. This game was just a game where you finally got to see what people have been saying about Colorado in terms of their depth, their play up front, their play on the defensive side of the ball. Oregon averaged like 6 yards a carry. It just was one of those games where, let's not sit here and say that if Travis Hunter had played, things would be different. That's a very bad efforts to make. The truth of the matter is that they were just outclassed in this one. And Oregon was at home. Now, it might have been different if they was on the road. Could have been a different ball game, but they were at the house. Colorado was on the road, and they weren't prepared to play ball today. They just wasn't. And maybe it's a little bit of a deflate because, you get the TCU game, the Nebraska game, and then you got the Colorado State game, which that was a lot of emotion with that game, winning the overtime. Hard to keep kids up to play ball every week. So, you go from playing at 9 at night last week. Of course, you got to lay down, you got to get reset, get flipped around, get yourself prepared to play an Oregon team, a ranked Oregon team that, yes, their coach has smoke with the university, with Colorado leaving the Pac-12. Supposedly he said that wasn't a shot at Deion, but it was. In some sort of way, it was. But he stood on what he stood on. And he said what he said in that pregame speech, too. If you hadn't seen it, go check that out. Because he basically said, they play for clicks, we play for wins. And no sooner than he said all of that, it was blasting all over social media. But all in all, man, just watching this game was a game that size matters. The fronts matter, defensive and offensive fronts. They just could not match up with Oregon's size and physicality, and they couldn't match the speed in this game. Oregon was just on point, and and once they got them on their heels, they just kept reeling. They just kept reeling. So Oregon started out fast. I think Prime even said something about starting out fast in this game and trying to keep the crowd out of it or something like that. I can't remember. Or maybe that was somebody on ESPN. Maybe that's what that was. But it was just one of those games, man. They were just outclassed at this point. And so now you got to pick up and you got to play, I think it's USC next week at home. So here you go again. Now you're in the teeth of your schedule. You got USC coming up, Oregon State coming up, Washington, who I'm watching on my TV right now. They ain't got nothing for Washington. I'll go and say that right now.
Washington
today, right now, my Heisman Trophy winner is Michael Penix Jr. If you ain't watched him, you ought to. The kid tosses it around the yard. Great ball placement. I know everybody loves Shador and what he brings. I know everybody loves Caleb Williams because he is the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, but my Heisman Trophy winner, if I had a vote, is Michael Penix Jr. And it ain't even close. He is a baller. Kid's a baller. They got a lot. Colorado got a lot coming up. And so we really see, we got caught up. I think America got caught up with the darling that is Colorado. The show. And it has been a great show. And it's been entertaining. And it's got people watching. I had a guy tell me at work the other day, basically, and he ain't no football guy, like he ain't no sports guy like that for real. But he was sitting there watching it. And basically it got to the point where, he's sitting up and he was like, man, I need to go sleep. But I've been up this long, I might as well finish it. And I am referencing the Colorado State game last week. And so people are just intrigued, right? But now we get into the nuts and bolts of college football schedules. Pac-12 that has actually been surprisingly doing very well in terms of rankings and stuff. A lot of ranked teams in the Pac-12.
Hell yeah.
So now here you are.
Ain't that crazy when they finna dissolve this shit? They having all this fucking success right now.
Yep.
And they finna dissolve this shit.
Yep. It's crazy. So you talking Oregon State, Washington, USC coming up. I mean, these are just games that, man, it's gonna be tough. Oh, Washington State, I'm sorry. Oregon State, Washington State, UCLA. They got them coming up. They got Utah at the end of the year. Man, this schedule is for real. Like right here on my count, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranked opponents coming up based on my count right here on this phone. As of today, that's a tough schedule. All right, T. So I checked out the post-game presser with Prime, and I guess somebody asked him about a talent gap or something to that effect. And he said there wasn't a talent gap. Okay. Now, I'm sure in big sports media, they probably already started on social media, but throughout this week, on all the shows that talk about them, they probably going to say there was a talent gap because they, that's their boy Prime and everything like that. And it sounded like you saying you saw a talent gap. You're talking about they got outclassed. Which one is you think Prime just saying that, not trying to come at his boys? Because later on in the presser, he also said they better get me now because it's the worst we gonna be. That make it sound like, okay, it is a talent gap. You finna bring in even more boys, probably shore up that line, more skill position, get some more depth. You feel me? So would you say they got out coached, or would you say yes, indeed they were out coached? It was just really the talent on the field in terms of the trenches to me. Offensive, defensive line just was not It just wasn't there. I mean,
So with him trying to say it's not a talent gap, that's just cap from on.
yeah, Shador just could not get time. Shador was always moving off the spot. He wasn't back there patting that thing like he normally has, and guys weren't just running free. Oregon's secondary was pretty dang talented. I mean, they're pretty talented. I mean, they were up for the challenge. Granted, of course, people are gonna say, "Well, Mr. Hunter wasn't playing," but they still had Mr. Weaver, still had Horn Jr., they still had other guys out there, and their offense just could not get a hold of what Oregon was doing. They just couldn't do it. And so
I wonder if they're gonna be able to keep Shador upright throughout this year without a damn running game to speak of at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we ran that offense, that what air raid offense at Jack State with him. But Savion Wilkinson got 1,000 yards.
That's right.
You know, for Jackson State. Now he's out there with Colorado. He's not really getting most of the touches. Those touches are going to Dylan Edwards. But even Dylan Edwards, okay, and hopefully ESPN has these stats updated. If not, I apologize. But as I'm looking at it right now, okay, Dylan Edwards 25 carries, 136 yards, 5.4 a clip.
Yeah,
that ain't bad.
No, it's not.
But 25 carries, either through, again, I don't know if they've updated this. It's ESPN, so it should be. So if this is updated, that's 25 carries through 4 games.
Yeah.
And you getting 5.4 a clip. What the fuck we doing?
Yeah.
If I'm looking at I got a kid getting that, I need to give him the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe they looking at it, well, that's just maybe there's some long runs that skewed the data. I don't know. Savion has only gotten 18 carries for 52 yards. But based on what they showing me, they got a total of 183 rush yards for the season.
They ain't ready to run the ball right now, man. And
that's
why
crazy.
And that's why, if you notice, people don't want to talk about this when it comes to, and that's why I was kind of scrolling through while you were talking and stuff. But this year, right now, Shador has been sacked 23 times. Okay. For the lowest number has been 4 sacks in a game this year. He got sacked 8 times. He got sacked 8 times against Nebraska.
That's 5.75 sacks per game.
So,
shit.
I'm just saying
that don't count hits.
No.
You know,
hurries.
Like that game, the last game they win with hit them with that shot. That ain't counting those kind of joints. They gonna have to find a way to run the ball some to keep the defense honest.
They got to. And if your line just ain't there, let's just go on and say the line ain't there. Let's just go on and say.
Can they scheme it? Can I scheme me some run game a little bit? Like y'all do. Okay, let's go to your NFL.
Okay.
Your 49ers stacked talent-wise. Okay, y'all stacked talent-wise. I know that. You blessed. Okay.
Right.
And in my family, okay, I got 2 49er fans, and I got a Cowboy fan, and then you got me over here, the Green Bay Packer fan. I'm the one on the outside looking in, but I digress. Okay, for my mental health, I'm not going to talk about that. But some of the shit y'all do, is scheme. Y'all doing all this misdirection. You got motion going here and there and everywhere. You got a shiny toy over here, but really the ball going there. You feel me? Like, they gonna have to scheme some shit up to get some runs. Because that man, they can't expect this man to just drop back all fucking year like this.
Nope.
If the line can't protect him.
No.
And him be able to survive this whole season.
Now what you will hear, and what I think you're gonna start hearing, and I hope big time media doesn't, is they don't start attacking these kids on that line and basically saying that they got to keep Shador upright. They're not doing a great job. Don't start blasting the offensive line, because Shador is getting hit during the 3-game win streak. He was getting hit. Okay. He got sacked 4 times against TCU. He got sacked 8 times against Nebraska. He got sacked 4 times against Colorado State, and it was 7 tonight. So just don't start coming talking about what the O line ain't, because y'all ain't said nothing about the O line the first 3 games of the year. It was just all about Shador's greatness and Mr. Hunter's greatness and all that. So right now, you're in one of them situations where you just got to lick your wounds. You played a complete team. Colorado played a complete team. Front to back, side to side. Oregon was fast defensively. They were covering up stuff quick. They were stopping stuff quick. And offense was just on another level. They were just in a different place.
Look at these highs, T. Okay. Shador, first game, 510 passing yards. The Russian leader, Wilkerson, 45 yards.
45 whole yards.
Second game, Nebraska, Shador, 393 yards.
Yeah.
The Russian high, Edwards, 55 yards. Okay, Colorado State, Shador, 348 yards. Edwards, 57 yards. And then tonight,
Hankerson.
Shador, 159 yards. Hankerson, 31 yards.
Yep.
So if Shador ain't awesome, awesome,
they
don't stand a chance.
That's right. And that's what they got, and that's what America needs to tell the public. All you big social media, all you big media folks need to just say that if Shador Sanders ain't standing up and getting it around the yard, then Colorado doesn't have a shot. And Prime got to know that. He's got to know that.
That's tough. Now he's a junior. I know to them they're just seeing him. Okay, but this is his 3rd year of college ball. Okay, and so I think he can handle the pressure. I mean, he might even want the motherfucking pressure. Okay, but taking them hits like that,
can't do it.
They got to keep them boys honest, dog, with something, goddamn it. They gonna have to figure something out.
Can't do it.
Either that or Prime gonna have to stop the cap and just let it be known I ain't got the dogs. Now, at one time, on one hand, he say we gotta stop lying to these kids. Like when I come in the room and tell everybody, I'm bringing on my luggage with me and it's Louis, and he justifying that to say I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But then you say there's no talent gap, but then you also say they better get me now because it's the worst we're gonna be. So are you saying your coaches are gonna get exponentially better? Or are you really trying to say, like you said at Jackson State, because I've heard this speech before. I heard this speech spring 21 season. Okay. When Alabama A&M, led by Connell Maynor, his boy, won the SWAC, and Prime told everybody, y'all better get us now. Because he knew what we had coming later on in the fall season. He knew we were going to be starting Shador at quarterback. He knew these other guys he was bringing in, all that kind of stuff. And then we went and won the SWAC. Lost Celebration Bowl. Won the SWAC again, lost Celebration Bowl. But he knew he was bringing in recruits.
Yeah, he did.
So that's what he meaning now too.
He got to be.
So you gotta stop the cap. We ain't got the depth that we need.
That's all he got to say. But he ain't gonna say it. And it's just only because it's Deion. He's not gonna say it like that because he needs to keep these kids up. He's got another tough one coming up. He
just said don't lie to him.
Yeah, well, he don't lie to him, but lie to me. Lie to them. I don't know.
See, that motherfucker be going back and forth. That's what I be trying to tell you. Motherfucker be going back and forth like the Antonio Brown dance. But straight like that. Well, they got USC next.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll see how that one goes. Hopefully they can keep a young king upright. Okay. Real ones, y'all chime in. Let us know what y'all think about Colorado getting blasted by Oregon. All right, put it on something.
Please subscribe to my daddy's YouTube channel because the more subscribers he gets, the more attractive he looks to sponsors. The more attractive he looks to sponsors, the more money he can make. And the more money he can make, the more money he can spend on me.